Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy and this is Happiness Created. Today's video, I've put together all of my Easter projects from 2021 when I first started my channel. I hope that you enjoyed this video and let's get into the projects. So I found this plank that I got at Hobby Lobby. I painted it orange and added a little bit of white on top to kind of tone down the orange. Then I took that fairy base and I painted it with some white Waverly chalk paint. Now I'm just putting some of the wording that I had cut out with my Cricut. And then I painted the back of the sign because I forgot to do that part. So I added some moss in that little fairy base. And I also added a couple beads to the back of the sign just so that it was more stable. And now I'm taking these little eggs and carrots from the Dollar Tree, and that's it for this one. I think it's super cute. Let me know what you guys think. So for this next one, I'm taking one of those white cloths from the automotive section at Dollar Tree and one of these bunny cutouts. I'm just going to cut, actually I sprayed some spray adhesive, that's right. And then I'm going to just go around the edge and attach the cloth to the bunny itself. And then I just fold the edges around the back. And there you go. Look at how cute he turned out. I love that. Then they had these little cottontails that had like this little clip on the back, and I thought it was perfect. So I just clipped it to the bottom of the bunny, and then I just added some hot glue to make sure that it wasn't going to go anywhere. Now I'm taking one of these foam rings from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut a piece off and cut it in half, and I'm just wrapping it around this wire. It's a wire wreath form thing. And then I'm just taking some of the floral wire and just attaching it or wrapping it around to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Then I have some of this, I think it's eucalyptus, it might be boxwood, I got from Amazon, and I'm just filling in the bottom. And then I also take some of the floral from the Dollar Tree. I believe those were lilacs. Those are my favorites. Now I am just attaching the bunny to the wreath form as well. And I apologize if you can hear my dogs playing in the background. So anyway, then I decide that I'm going to add some moss to the bottom because you could still see some of the wreath form. And I didn't want that. So I'm just kind of adding some of the moss to cover that up. And now I did add a hanger, and I added a little bow on her ear. Look how cute. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Now I have this like a cone, foam cone, and I got it at Hobby Lobby. I originally painted it yellow and then thought, nope, that's not happening. So I just went over it again with some of the Waverly white chalk paint. Then I got this beautiful egg garland at Hobby Lobby. I cut all of the pieces off, and I'm just going to attach them all to this foam piece. And then I cut a piece out of the bottom of the cone that I am going to use to add this battery pack. And then once I got it in there, I am just going to wrap these fairy lights right around this. We're going to call it an egg tree. And how cute is that? I absolutely love the way this came out. And you'll see I did put some pictures in with the lights on, but there it is. Look at how cute. I love this thing. Now that's a little bit much with the flashing, but just having the lights on was so beautiful. Let me know what you think. Now I'm taking one of these truffle or trifle dishes from the Dollar Tree. I painted it in the color moss from Waverly, and then I added some floral foam just to take up some space and some Spanish moss. And then I painted this little piece of wood, and I wrote eggs 25 cents and carrots 5 cents, something like that. And then I just took a skewer and added that to the back. I added some carrots and some eggs in this little dish as well. I put a little twine bow right on the sign. And then I took this thicker twine, it's like a rope from Amazon. I will have it linked down below if you're interested. And I just wrapped it around the top of the dish. And then I took one of those burlap bows that I love so much from Hobby Lobby. And here it is. How cute. I love it. Let me know what you think. Now I'm going to take one of these galvanized planters that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue some floral foam right to the bottom of it. And then I'm just taking some florals from the Dollar Tree and adding them to this bucket. Then I took these little ears that came from the Dollar Tree. They were like on a headband, and I took them off and added them to the little skewers. Look at how cute. It's like, and then I had one of those other bunny tails and I clipped it right on that. And I think this is so cute. Let me know what you guys think. So now I have one of those coffee signs from the Dollar Tree. I tore it apart, used some elephant chalk paint on the backing of the picture itself. And then I took some of this cardstock, I believe it was, and I just traced out a piece to cover the back of the sign to give it a more finished look. Then I took all of the little clips off the back and I just hot glued the back piece right back onto the sign. Then I took one of these little tiny like clipboard picture holder things and I just attached it to the backing of that sign, and I added a little scripture from one of the calendars from last year. I added some boxwood and another one of those bows, and this is how it came out. I think it's adorable. It says, "With God, all things are possible." How true is that? So for this next one, I lost all of the footage, but I just wanted you to see it. I just added a little floral and a bow, and that was it for that one. This one is probably my all-time favorite. So I took one of these pictures from the Dollar Tree and I scratched all of the words off and just cleaned it up really well. And I got this beautiful paper from Hobby Lobby, and then I cut out one of the verses, or actually it's the chorus, "Go rest high on that mountain." And I just placed it right on the glass itself. And then I had to take some paint and kind of just brush it on the back of the sign because it was hard to see the wording with all of the music notes on that paper. And I think it turned out amazing. I love this. So I stuck the paper in and then glued the backing back on. And then I took one of those die cut crosses and I added that. And then I took this, like the burlap ribbon stuff from Dollar Tree, and I just went around the 3 sides of the picture frame because I wanted it to be able to stand up. I didn't go to the bottom, but I did put a piece across the front part of this sign. And for me, this is my favorite because it has very special meaning. So I changed the wording a little bit and it says, "Go rest high on that mountain. Dad, your work on earth is through." We played this at my father's funeral. Sorry. And so it has special meaning for my family. I know it's supposed to say son, not dad. But anyways, let me know what you think of that one. So I took this little sign from Dollar Tree and I painted it with the white Waverly chalk paint. And then I took these 3 crosses and I added some of the antique wax on the Waverly antique wax and then just wiped some of it off. And then I just took the wet sponge and did a heavy dry brushing on it. And then I took 4 of the little cubes from the Crafter's Square section and I stacked them 2 to each, and I made 3 of them, if that makes any sense at all. Then I stood the crosses up and placed them where I wanted them and then glued the top parts of the cross together. And then I glued those 2 cubes on the back of the crosses. And then I just had this He Has Risen vinyl that I had cut out with my Cricut. I added that to the front and then I just glued the crosses onto that base. Then I put some of the Spanish moss and gave it a little haircut. And then I just draped one of the lace ribbons from the Dollar Tree. And I absolutely love this one. Let me know what you think. For this next one, I have a bamboo cutting board and I cut out a crown of thorns and I just added it to the top of the cutting board. And then I had this cross with all of these different words and I think it came out so beautiful. It was a little difficult to get the vinyl to stick, so maybe some Mod Podge would have helped. Anyway, let me know what you think of that one. Now this one, I just have one of those little signs from the Dollar Tree and one of the chalkboards. There it is. I painted them all in the Waverly white chalk paint. I added this little saying and then I attached the sign, the plaque sign, to the chalkboard. And then I added the vinyl and it says "Silly Rabbit, Easter is for Jesus," I think, if I remember correctly. Then I just added some of that lace to the top and then I wrapped some of this purple twine around the top. And then I ended up adding one of the crosses to the front as well, just to kind of decorate it up a little bit more. But I think it turned out super, super cute. You'll have to let me know what you think of this one. Now I have some of these long stir sticks from Lowe's. They come like 3 in a pack. And I just line up a few of them. And then I take I do take my miter saw and I just trim off a little bit of the handle of the stir stick. And then I just line them up, take some wood glue, and I glue them all together. I do use a little bit of super glue as well. And then I take some smaller pieces and I add that to the back to hold the stir sticks together. Then I take some Waverly I take some Waverly antique wax and I just use a wipe and I just like stain the wood, if you will. Then I have the vinyl that I cut out with my Cricut. And then I had some of these peonies and they were kind of like opening up a little bit too much. So I just kind of glued them together a little bit so that they would keep their shape. And it turned out so beautiful. I love this one so much. I can't even tell you. So this floral I did get from Walmart and it is gorgeous, guys, like gorgeous. I actually bought another bouquet of it this year, so it is still available if you need it. And it says, when life gets too hard to stand, kneel. How appropriate, right? Like how true that is. Just give it to him. So I did add a little bit of greenery on the top, and then I went over everything with the Mod Podge just to make sure that all of the vinyl was going to stay put. So the last thing I did was I just took some twine and I made a hanger for the back of this sign. And that's it for this one. I absolutely love this sign. Let me know what you guys think. Now I have one of those wooden plaques from the Dollar Tree and a grapevine wreath. I'm taking my antique wax and I wax the plaque and add my vinyl and put some Mod Podge over it. And then I'm wrapping the wreath around the plaque. And so it almost looks like a crown, like the crown of thorns. And so, yeah, so I'm just going to glue that right around the plaque. And then I am going to take some more of the purple lilacs and I'm just going to glue that right to the side. I'm trying hard not to cover up the wording. And then I take some of that beautiful lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I just make a bow and attach it to the side. And I kind of tack the tails just so that it looks like it's kind of waving. And then I'm just taking some more twine and I'm making a hanger for the back of this sign. And that is it. Look how beautiful. And by his wounds, we are healed. I absolutely love that one. Now I'm taking some of those long signs or decor pieces from Dollar Tree and my little table saw, and I cut them in half, and then I am just going to use some wood glue and some hot glue, and I'm going to glue the pieces to 3 sets of 2. And then I'm taking some of the chalk paint in ink, and I do the back, all the sides, and then I kind of do just a little piece you can see there. Then I take the elephant chalk paint and I add to it and go lighter. And then I believe I took some of the mineral as well. And then I mixed it all together and dry brushed a little white on it. And now I have all of these pieces of vinyl. I am doing 1 letter at a time. Yes, I'm crazy, but I absolutely love the way it came out. Look at how beautiful they are. I love these so much. Let me know what you think. So then I have these wooden squares I got from Woodpecker's Crafts. I used my elephant chalk paint and I painted them on both sides. Then I took my drill with the drill bit and I poked holes in the top of each one. And then I added some letters that I got from Hobby Lobby, and then this beautiful dove that I used my Cricut to cut out. And now I'm taking some of that wired twine and threading it through the squares and then wrapping it around the long skewer that I got from Dollar Tree. I painted that as well. And then I'm just going to add those right to the skewer, and I kind of trim it down a little bit. And then I'm taking some twine and I'm just wrapping it around the ends so that I can make a hanger for this. And then the letters were kind of a little floppy, so I did end up hot gluing the wire twine to the skewers on this. But that's it. I think this came out so adorable. I love it so much. Let me know what you guys think. And now I'm showing you those squares, and I used some black paint to paint just the top part of these. And then I used my Cricut to cut out some words. So I transfer those to these squares. And now I'm going to take one of those cork sheets from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to trace the bottom. Well, I kind of measured the bottom just to make sure that it would fit. And I put 2 on each piece. And I'm just going to trim around the bottom and just so they're not slipping. I figured I could use these for coasters, but I think they came out so beautiful. And then I'm just taking some Mod Podge to make sure that the vinyl does not come off. And I did forget to tell you, but I did take a paint pen and I went around the edges to give it like a stitching look. But how cute are these? I love them so much. So that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a great big thumbs up for me. It really helps me get noticed by YouTube. If you are new to my channel and you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do it. And don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new video. And share with your family and friends. And I will see you next time.